LiberalViewer presents.
So next few clips I want to show are political 2016 presidential election clips. A Democrat got into the race, or I guess a Democratic socialist, Bernie Sanders, from Vermont, got in to challenge Hillary Clinton. And he was over on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos. First, here's the intro that George Stephanopoulos did, giving background on Bernie Sanders, the folk singer turned independent politician over here.
Amount of time, I've got to get back.
Bernie Sanders squeezed out some time this week to run for president.
We're in this race to win.
An unusual launch for a unique politician.
As I went walking that ribbon of highway,
The folk singer from Brooklyn became the socialist mayor of Burlington, Vermont back in 1981, then took his populist message to the House.
The rich have gotten away with murder.
And the Senate.
this is not a tax on the rich. This is a tax on the very, very, very rich.
And now the longest-serving independent in Congress
I run vigorous campaigns.
is ready for Hillary.
So yeah, I like that intro from ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos. And then the first question to Bernie Sanders, George Stephanopoulos asked him about why he's running, and he talks about why that he's stood up against the billionaires for 30 years. And of course, George Stephanopoulos loops him into turning that into Hillary's stance on billionaires over in this thing.
Why are you the best choice for president of the United States?
Because for the last 30 years, I've been standing up for the working families of this country, and I think I'm the only candidate who is prepared to take on the billionaire class, which now controls our economy and increasingly controls the political life of this country. We need a political revolution in this country involving millions of people who are prepared to stand up and say enough is enough, and I want to help lead that effort.
So does that mean that Hillary Clinton's part of the billionaire class?
It means that Hillary Clinton has been part of the political establishment for many, many years. I have known Hillary for some 25 years. I respect her and I like her. But I think what the American people are saying, George, is that at a time when 99% of all new income is going to the top 1%, and when the top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%, maybe it's time for real political shakeup in this country and go beyond establishment politics.
So you're asking.
So yeah, I think that's what you're going to see if there are debates between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. His soft way of attacking his opponent for the Democratic nomination, saying how much he likes her, but saying that she's not the one who's going to break the establishment and the support of billionaires. And the next clip, George Stephanopoulos asks Bernie Sanders if someone who calls himself a democratic socialist can actually win, and you get him defining democratic socialism and talking about the Scandinavian countries. I think I have a few viewers in some Scandinavian countries, so you can let me know what you think after you see that interaction here.
A lot of shake-up. Is it really possible for someone who calls himself a socialist to be elected president of the United States?
Well, so long as we know what democratic socialism is. And if we know that in countries in Scandinavia, like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, they are very democratic countries. Obviously, the voter turnout is a lot higher than it is in the United States. In those countries, healthcare is a right of all people. In those countries, college education, graduate school is free. In those countries, retirement benefits, childcare are stronger than in the United States of America. And in those countries, by and large, government works for ordinary people in the middle class rather than, as is the case right now in our country, for the billionaire class.
I can hear the Republican attack ad right now. He wants America to look more like Scandinavia.
That's right. That's right. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong when you have more income and wealth equality? What's wrong when they have a stronger middle class in many ways than we do, a higher minimum wage than we do, and they're stronger on the environment than we do? Look, the fact of the matter is we do a lot in our country, which is good, but we can learn from other countries. We have, George, the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth at the same time as we're seeing a proliferation of millionaires and billionaires. Frankly, I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's what America is about.
You're the long...
I actually thought that was a pretty good message. I don't know if Senator Bernie Sanders is the best messenger for it, the best one to carry that message and create a groundswell for a left-wing alternative to Hillary Clinton. That might be more Senator Elizabeth Warren's job, or though I've shown many clips over many months where she says she's not running, and many pundits saying she's not running, and I get the feeling that she is running, but not in 2016. But I wanted to show you those Bernie Sanders clips and his message, and there was that introduction that gave you a little idea of what kind of messenger he is. You can let me know what you think down in the comment section.
Could democratic socialism see significant gains in its political popularity in the United States? And as for the messenger, is Senator Bernie Sanders the right messenger to increase the political popularity of democratic socialism in the United States?
YouTube, you decide.